Also, Prime Minister Modi said that with the comprehensive economic and trade agreement, the import cost between India and UK will come down, and that in turn will create employment opportunities for the youth, and trade will increase manifold, which will further benefit industries and consumers alike in both the countries. Also, Prime Minister Modi mentioned that the UK Prime Minister's visit to India within just a few months of signing the agreement with the biggest business delegation ever accompanying him is a symbol of new vigor in India-UK partnership. Let's go across to Disha. She's joining us live from Mumbai. Disha, a very important press briefing. Once again, if you can just quickly give us a synopsis of major announcements that are coming in by both the leaders.
Well, absolutely. It seems to be a very power-packed day here in India's financial capital city, Mumbai, because both the Prime Ministers are here and they have been doing big round-up delegation talks with the top business leaders. And just a short while ago, we heard both the Prime Ministers jointly briefing the media. And to start with, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi very categorically has said, and this is what I'm reading, a few highlights of what the press conference was all about. He went on to thank, firstly, the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, clearly stating that there has been a significant progress in India-UK ties under his leadership. He also spoke about the free trade agreement deal that was signed in July and how this particular visit of his in India is going to further strengthen the ties between both the countries. In fact, he also spoke about the education sector, that how it is going to give a big boost here in India as well, because at least 9 such UK universities campuses are going to open here in India, which will pave a big education boost to the youth here. And they also spoke about the job creation, because under the comprehensive economic trade agreement, the entire deal, it will pave way for the youth and create thousands of employment opportunities, not only in India but even in UK as well. In fact, in this meeting, which went for 1 hour long between both the Prime Minister, they also spoke about from defence to education, and also how India and UK's relationship is witnessing a new rise. They also spoke about the stance on the establishment of peace in Gaza as well as Ukraine. So that was also one point of discussion between both the Prime Ministers. And majorly, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also spoke about how UK is going to train the Indian Air Force flying instructors. So that was also one of the major announcements that has been done by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And apart from that, when we talk about the agreement, when we talk about comprehensive economic and trade agreement, the import cost between the two countries will come down, he announced. He also announced the new employment opportunities will be generated for the youth. The trade will increase, and this will benefit the industries as well as the consumers, and not only in India but to the UK as well. In fact, just a short while ago, UK's Prime Minister Keir Starmer also, he tweeted out saying that more investment in the UK, thousands of new jobs across the country, more money for you and the family. So the 2-day visit of UK Prime Minister here in India is to, do discussions, to hold talks, bilateral talks with with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and also the top leaders from across the country on various aspects of, not from defence to education to trade, investments. In fact, yesterday also he spoke about that how at least more than 60 companies were ready to invest in the UK, bringing much money and employment opportunities. So that, of course, is going to happen. And right now we are here at the Global FinTech Fest because shortly from now, after addressing the media at Raj Bhavan in Mumbai, both the Prime Minister along with the huge delegation, they are expected here at the Geo World Center in BKC, which is the commercial hub. Firstly, they are going to attend the India-UK CEO Forum, where they are going to meet the business delegation and the leaders from across the country. And then they are going to also deliver a keynote address right here at the Global FinTech Fest, which will also be quite significant and important to see.
Yes. Disha, requesting you to stay with us. My colleague Shivan is also joining us on the broadcast. Shivan, of course, a very significant press briefing that we just heard. It also comes in the backdrop of the stalemate between India and US over tariffs. Needless to say, the highlights were, of course, also that football match that the UK Prime Minister went to witness and the visit to the Yash Raj Film Studios.
Yeah, that's been one of his first pitch stops ever since he landed in Mumbai. That happened yesterday. Of course, he's come with a big delegation here, 125 people. Yash Raj Films becomes the first stop where he was at, and of course there were photographs with Rani Mukherjee, wife of Aditya Chopra, which have done the rounds. They are looking at a 3 films deal with, which are going to be filmed in the UK. That's from the Yash Raj Films banner. And that means they are going to be creating a lot of jobs. It only goes to show the kind of investment that the UK is hoping to get from India. And this is only from its film industry. Disha, I'll come back to you on that before we, get more updates coming in from Mumbai. How do you read into the kind of investment that the films are going to bring in to the UK, and for the UK Prime Minister to be coming into a film studio in India as the first stop as soon as he lands in Mumbai before FinTech? It only goes to show how much the UK requires that investment to come in from India.
Well, absolutely, and definitely the first stop, like you rightly mentioned, was Yash Raj Studio Films, and that is one of the leading, production houses here in Mumbai. The big banner, if you can talk about, and the reason he went because. For the love of his movies, and that's what we've been told. And 3 films is something that the UK will be producing under the banner and that will start from 2026. So that will bring a lot of investment because of the kind of films that are being made here. And that is something that he wants to really resonate there in UK as well. So the love for the movies, the love for the drama, the love for the kind of culture that India really represents, and that is something which is going to be very important to look out for. And that is the sole reason that why he first visited the studios. He also met with the COO. He met with Rani Mukherjee, which is one of the leading actresses of 1990s as well, to know about films, to know about what really goes behind the filmmaking and what really can shape up. And that is how we come to know that there were 3 big movies that are being planned that will be shot in UK from 2026. So we will have to really wait and see that what really happens on that front.
Also, Disha, yesterday, Keir Starmer met the founder of India's digital ID system, that's Nandan Nilekani, and this is, of course, in wake of plans to introduce a digital ID for people working in the UK. There has been a good amount of protest against that. A lot of people have signed petitions. They don't want that in the UK, but that's another thing that UK wants to pick up from India here. Disha, can you hear me? All right, we will try to reconnect with Disha there. I think there's some lapse in the audio, but there you have visuals of the Indian Prime Minister and the UK Prime Minister as they meet in Mumbai. They've had their meeting. We are going to be waiting for the statements that come in from the 2 Prime Ministers shortly from now. The Prime Minister has been given a rousing welcome. This is the UK Prime Minister. He's given a rousing welcome in India. Thousands of photographs of him and Modi lining parts of Mumbai that the 2 leaders will travel through on Thursday. That's today. Modi has called the visit a historic one. Of course, as I just mentioned on the first day, Keir Starmer, that's the UK Prime Minister, he visited the Yash Raj Film Studio. That was one of the first stops that he made. And he also met the founder of India's digital ID system, Nandan Nilekani. And this is as the UK plans to introduce the digital ID for people working in the UK. And Keir Starmer also announced that 3 Bollywood films will be made in the UK by Yash Raj Films from 2026. And this is going to end an 8-year hiatus which has existed so far. The government says that the yet-to-be implemented UK-India trade deal, the free trade agreement, has already led to $1 billion of investment and almost 7,000 jobs being created in the UK. So this agreement it has been very mutually beneficial. As from the UK's side, these are some of the things that have come out of it. The UK Prime Minister, it's his first visit to India ever since taking office. And the UK will be cutting taxes on Indian clothing, footwear, jewellery and frozen seafood. And under this trade deal, India's average tariff on UK products will drop from 15% to 3%. And Disha, if you can hear me, at a time when tariffs only seem to be going up, clearly stemming from the US and Donald Trump's stance on how he wants to take trade deals forward. Here we have India and UK just coming together in a free trade agreement where tariffs are actually coming down. Both countries, they only seem to be mutually looking at each other for benefits for both. And that's how trade really happens.
Well, absolutely, Shivan. And this was the very first talking point of Prime Minister Narendra Modi today when he started addressing the media, clearly stating that how the ties between India and UK have further strengthened, and that happened after the free trade agreement deal that was signed in July this year. And in the past few months only, they have seen tremendous progress under the leadership of the UK Prime Minister, because on one side, where we are looking at the tariffs getting increased day by day, and the announcements are done by the US government, here mutually there has been a decision to reduce on the tariffs, which will also help to have a reduce on the import goods, and that will really benefit both the countries. It is not only going to be like a one-side solution, but it will benefit both the countries, India and UK, which in a way it will mean that more investment definitely can be put into, because this will help the trade, this will help the education sector, this will not only help the youth of UK, but it will also help to create employment opportunities for India as well. And that is why mutually both the countries decided, and this specific free trade agreement that they signed is getting on millions and millions and even billions of investments. Like rightly pointed out yesterday itself, the UK PM said that how more than 60 Indian companies are ready to invest billions of dollars in UK, and he was quite happy about it. And that was only possible because of the free trade agreement, because of the low import cost, because of the low tariffs. All of these companies are ready to invest in the UK.
Thanks, Disha, for getting us all those updates. We are going to wait for more updates coming in from Mumbai as the joint statements are going to come out. That was Disha Shah getting us the latest from Mumbai. Disha, will come back to you as soon as there's more to discuss.